It's Gypsy Man, and what we're gonna talk about today is a whole lot of Glock shilling been going on. You know, everybody's jumping on the Glock bandwagon. You know, after all this SIG stuff has been coming up, and I'm not surprised because I knew that the COA it would be a big hit when it came to having a complete package for law enforcement. And wasn't even thinking about the military, right? Because they had this SIG program going on. So I didn't even think about them. I was more thinking about the law enforcement aspect of having a Glock all in one package with a decent setup, right? The aim point, hooking up with Glock, and you know I knew most LEs will probably prefer to have a closed emitter on their duty weapon. So while I'm talking about that, I'm just gonna you know what, matter of fact, I'm doing a favor for a friend of mine and installing his dot for him, and I'm gonna zero it. And I'm just gonna use a simple tool to zero it because this is how I zero all of my guns. Is just going on Amazon and just buying a board laser, and I get them pretty much on point every time. Like once I've set mine, and you got to make sure that you get this in there flush and in the chamber because they can get a little skewed. So you just make sure you put that on there. But I'm going to do that for him. And this is a stock Glock 45. And this will be his introduction to the laser. What I need to introduce him to is cleaning his gun. That's what I need to introduce him to. So he's a good bro. So I'm going to go ahead and just quickly wipe out his gun for him. Just a quick field strip. Knowing me, I'm so meticulous, it probably won't be a quick field strip because I don't like working on dirty things that are mechanical. And I've said it before, I used to work on bikes. I don't work on dirty bikes. I'm definitely not going to work on a dirty gun. So before I even put this dot on there, we're going to go ahead and put this through a rag and probably clean out this board real quick. But anyway, the COA. The COA is going to be a good setup for law enforcement. And then, to my surprise, they even stopped selling them to the public. And I always told people, and I've said it in some other videos of mine, that these gun companies, they're not really aiming for the consumer. They want the big contracts. They don't want you to just come and buy one or two pistols from them. They want packages. They want large shipments. And hopefully some of these smaller companies can handle that, because to gain a military contract, you got to have the production. And if anybody knows about small business, most times the things that get them are the demand, and when you scale up to going after a military contract, you have to be able to meet their demand. So small companies don't usually get that opportunity. But I saw and know that some barrel, some machinings, some things like that, yeah, they can take care of that. But when they scale up, somebody comes and buy your company just to scale you up, and the next thing you know, the company's not around anymore because they lose their company to the investor that came to help them out. But that's neither here nor there. So they're going to stop selling those to the public for now. They'll probably be back, I'm sure, but they're going to fulfill what they're really after, which are the big fish. It's a good gun. I mean, it's a Glock, right? It's a Glock just with and it just so happens to come with a dot. So you can't really go wrong with that. I hear the dots all right. I've never shot through an aim point, a closed emitter aim point. So I don't know how the dot goes and looks in there anyway. I know it's a larger profile, but law enforcement, they're not worried about how large the profile is because they're in a duty holster. They're not in a speed holster, anything like that. So it doesn't matter to them. And it's just a tool that they had to use for their job. So they're not really going to set their, they're not really concerned with that. So it's going to work out probably well for Glock as they make this comeback into having that large contract, which is probably where, shoot, probably billions. You know, money that most normal people probably won't see. This gun was bone dry. Bone dry. I haven't seen the gun. This thing looked like we found it as a relic, as dry as it is. But anyway, the it should be all right. But you're gonna see a lot of people, I think, talking about it. I'm already starting to see the Schillers come out on YouTube talking about the Koa, you know, as if it's a whole new system. So, you know, I doubt if Glock even asked them to do that because they're talking to consumers. And I think people who are more on the commercial side don't really care about what's on YouTube. They just want that order fulfilled. So I'm starting to see it. I saw it coming for different reasons, of course, but definitely saw it coming. And you know what? I tell you what. As I'm doing this, I try to be a good friend to everybody. But I don't know if he knew that it incenses me to work on dirty guns. But I like to have things go back better than I received them. So, and I'm sure this person will appreciate it. It's nothing like doing things for people who really appreciate the extra that you put into the extra care you put in to taking care of this stuff. And hopefully, you know, he'll do the same and continue this. But that's neither here nor there. And another thing is so funny, like when you get somebody else's gun, a friend of yours gun or whoever, how different this feels. I know it's a Glock, but man, it feels totally different from the way I set my Glocks up. Because it is, basically, it's a stock setup. And if you know me, you know that everything that I have definitely isn't stock at all. I was supposed to just make this video just throwing a dot on there, but you know, that doesn't take any time. And definitely didn't plan on cleaning the gun, but when I took it apart, my goodness, this thing looks like he found it in Egypt in one of the pyramids. You know, it looks like something that doesn't need to be, you know, shown on video, but this is why we make the videos, right? And this is just a quick field cleaning. I'm not even going to really go into the details. I've made videos about that, about how I clean my guns. I'm just going to give him a quick field wipe down, and he should be back in business because we're dealing with a Glock. But we just had to do something to tidy it up. So the codes are on. The SIG 320s are not. And this last incident with the Air Force, saying that, you know, it wasn't because of the 320 malfunction, and really is not going to clean up anything that has happened in the past, because this was a very unfortunate thing, an unfortunate cover-up, allegedly. And you know, the past is definitely precedes this. But Gypsy Man, I just wanted to make a quick video just to talk about that, what I've been noticing and things like that. And you know, next video will probably be something a lot more interesting, you know, than just, you know, installing this dot. But you know, whenever I get a new gun, I like to just put a little bit of content out there, just speak on a few things, and then we just keep it moving. But there's nothing to this. I mean, you know, this is the Holosun SCS. I ain't selling for them because they don't send me nothing for free. And we're just gonna put it on top, and you know, it's easy like that. All we do is put it on and just screw it on. This thing was waiting for it. I didn't even have to squeeze it into the frame. So, quick video. I'm just gonna bolt this down, and we'll be done with it. Everything else will just get wiped down quickly as we put things back together. And you can tell I haven't put my touch on this. Everything's still machined metal, and you know, everything that I do, it usually gets a nice little polishing. If you had asked for it, I would do it, but I just don't have time for it today. Look at that connector. I don't even know if I've seen it connected that dirty before. But we'll get that taken care of. See if we can get it in focus. If you can see it. But it's pretty bad. But it ain't nothing. You just wipe it out. And now we're back to action. It's a Glock, you know. All right. Gypsy Man out.